Hey guys, it's Talking Arsenal back with another video, and today I'll be talking about what's wrong with Arsenal and some of the reasons why we are in the state we are in now. So obviously one main reason is recruitment. Obviously this season we have spent a lot of money, up to 130 million, and we are buying a lot of young players with a short term, but however some of the deals have been a bit questionable. 50 million for Ben White, in my opinion the price tag is way too much. And yeah, I don't know if Ben White actually will suit Arsenal if we want to play in the back four. I think he would suit us in the back three way more as a right centre back. But yeah, 50 million for Ben White in my opinion is not a great deal, especially as last season was his first season in the Premier League, and Brighton weren't too great last season. I think they might have been near the relegation zone for a bit, so in my opinion that's not a very good signing, and that is one transfer which I really start to question our recruitment and Edu. And another one is Ramsdale. 30 million for a goalkeeper that might be sitting on our bench for months and might be playing cup games only is not ideal in my opinion. I don't want these transfers to come and haunt us and for us to be losing transfer value on these players and us not making profit, because that is one thing that Arsenal have been doing a lot of the time, buying players and selling them for way cheaper than we have bought them for. For example, if we were to sell Pepe now, are we getting that 72 million that we paid for him? No, because I don't think he was ever worth 72 million in my opinion. I'm pretty sure there was a debate that we could have signed him for way less. But yeah, that is a big problem. I like how we're signing young players, however we do need to sign some senior older players to be able to try and close that gap between us and the teams at the top. And we need to try and get back to that top 6, top 4 place if we really want to start being a serious team again. And yeah, so another thing which is wrong with Arsenal is our manager. Obviously Arteta, he as the first few months when he came in, we were seeing the new football, getting some like good wins against teams, beat Man United. Pretty sure you guys might remember Newcastle, we beat him 4-0. It's when Saka really started to become popular with the Arsenal fans. And yeah, with Arteta we don't really see any style of play anymore. It just seems like players are everywhere. As you probably saw yesterday against Chelsea, Tierney's positioning was awful. With a proper coach, in my opinion, that shouldn't be happening. He should be trained to be in his position, or he should have played a 5-back to stop Reece James from being so free and having that much space. But in my opinion, I would have played a 5-back to match Chelsea's 5-back, especially with how poor we were defensively yesterday. But yeah, once again, there's no style of play, no pattern of play. We just see different things every single game. And yeah, Arteta's decision making is very poor. In my opinion, spending 50 million on Ben White when we have Saliba, who we did sign for 27 million, which is a lot of money for a 19-year-old. He was 19 at the time when we signed him. So yeah, very poor from Arteta. Decision making over players can be very poor. Guendouzi, pretty sure I understand Guendouzi's attitude can be a problem, but as a manager, you need to try and build a relationship with your players and possibly give him a second chance, because I don't feel like he did treat Guendouzi too well. And one reason I like Guendouzi is because he's passionate, will do anything for the team. Sometimes the performances can be poor, but at the same time, I do like Guendouzi and I think he is a good player. He's a leader as well, at a very young age. And another thing with Arteta is his stubbornness. As we saw last year, he was willing to play Willian multiple times again and again after he did deliver very poor performances over and over again. Scored his first goal I think for Arsenal in May, and he was there for the whole season. Got I think all of his assists in the Premier League in that game against Fulham. Very good performance from him that day. Didn't do anything else, and yeah, his stubbornness can be one very big problem especially once again with that Guendouzi situation, not being able to give him another chance. And he also does this thing where he will make changes very late in the game. I know that will frustrate a lot of Arsenal fans in very important situations. And he's also stubborn. He's very stubborn with changing his style of play and how he wants to play. Because obviously we are playing in a 4-back now, but I think it's very obvious that we played our best football in a 3-back or a 5-back, especially against Chelsea and that FA Cup run that we had. And also he did very well at the start of his Arsenal managing career. And I feel like obviously Arteta is a huge reason why we're in the situation we are in now. As well as Arteta, Edu can be seen as another problem. I don't think Edu is our biggest problem. He's brought in a few good players, and obviously Partey is one of the biggest ones. Somehow convinced him to join Arsenal despite having a horrible season last year during the cup. Obviously I'm pretty sure Thomas Partey, being an Arsenal fan, played a huge factor in him joining Arsenal. But the thing with Edu is these Brazilian players that we're often linked to and that we are bringing in. Once again, Willian brought him in from Chelsea. I think has that Brazilian link with Willian and his owner, possibly another reason why he was brought in. He was David Luiz. Wasn't as bad as Willian, but once again I can name plenty of mistakes that he has made which have cost us and could have got us further in the table in these further years. And Edu, I feel like once again he relates to the recruitment and one of the reasons why I'm disappointed in the way that Arsenal are spending their money. Edu's not the biggest problem, but the next big problem, and this is the biggest problem of all at Arsenal Football Club, and this is Stan Kroenke, the owner of Arsenal Football Club. Obviously we all know that due to him, the gap between us and the other clubs have increased. Obviously we have seen Liverpool have just flown past us in recent years, despite us just about being on the same level. I think it was the 16-17 season, they literally finished 1 point above us. 3 years later, Liverpool have gotten to 2 Champions League finals, won the Champions League, won the Premier League, and are one of the best teams in the world, whereas Arsenal have just been in decline for multiple years, going to 2 decades now, and have not won the Premier League for a very long time. And it's because of Stan Kroenke and his lack of investment in recent years, which the gap has been allowed to get so big. And I feel like that's a huge reason why we're in the situation we're in now. And the thing is that Kroenke, most of the money that we are spent from we are spending is from the club, not from Kroenke. And I feel like if Kroenke could just push himself and give us that extra amount of money, that could really help us to be able to get back to where we want to be. But obviously we all know Stan Kroenke is the biggest problem, and I know that it's his lack of investment and just him not being active or speaking to the fans or being involved with the club, which makes us angry. Let's just Kroenke do all the talking and stuff, despite him being the owner of our football club. And Stan Kroenke, we all know, is the biggest problem at Arsenal Football Club. The next problem is just simply the players. Obviously some of our players are just too mistake prone. For example, Bernd Leno, a lot of the players that we have don't fit their style or don't do the things that Arteta wants to do. For example, Leno playing out the back, we all know that he cannot do it, and yet we do it over and over again and have conceded goals over doing it and have made plenty of mistakes which could have led to goals. Obviously one example of that happening is against Burnley away from home last season, where we did play at the back, but passed it to Xhaka passes it straight to Chris Wood, and that's an easy goal. And even against Brentford, they didn't score from it, but I think he passed to Xhaka was on the ball for way too long after passing out the back, and we were in a very dangerous position. Obviously we all know Leno cannot back the back, and he's made countless mistakes which have cost us in very serious situations, and has made some very questionable errors. I'm pretty sure one was against Slavia Prague after a corner, or I think they scored a goal which he could have saved, but luckily we did qualify to go through to Villarreal, which we lost to after. But yeah, once again, Xhaka makes too many mistakes, need to move on from him. And yeah, some of the players we have just aren't simply good enough to play for this club, and just aren't good enough. We don't see enough passion or investment in the club to be able to get back to where we are. And yeah, that kind of rounds it up. Those are some of the things which are wrong with Arsenal. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.